Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. It's 2. I think it's Wednesday. Good Lord, I've lost track of the days of the week. I got my coffee and in my special peppermint cup, I am working the Christmas spirit hard. I've been playing the music and all of the things while I try to wrap presents. I don't know what everybody else is doing. Hi, Christy. So I saw this cool thing one of the consultants did, and she basically took little images. These are supersets from, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe. Just little, 1 inch or smaller images. And hi, Stephanie. She made cards. And she just made these little images go in a line down her card. And it was the most simple looking, basic card, but it was gorgeous. And I've had this idea to make a fireplace mantle layout for a while. And I thought, wouldn't it be cute to have those little images floating above the mantle? So I started getting out, oh my gosh, all these old sets. Like, you need to go into your stash and you need to look at what you have that is small, like that little cookie or that little ornament or whatever, and pull out these old sets and the little pieces. I'm going to just start putting things on blocks. And that's all I'm going to use off this one. I just want to use some tiny things. Do I want to use anything off of here? I thought about using that candy cane, but even that candy cane is a little large. So let me keep looking. Anyway, let me see what else I got. I have this is Santa Fuel, and I think this one's even still available, but see that little Santa Claus in there? Oh my gosh, he's cute. And I thought, I need a cute Santa, and I don't love this Santa over this Santa. This one is a little more realistic looking, so I'm going to put him on a block. I don't think I'll use anything else on there. I'm just pulling out things, right? This set is a good one because it has a lot of, the images look huge on it, but in reality, there's like 2 or 3 tiny things, like this little present. This little tree is really cute. This little bird is adorable. So I'll use those. Let's see what else I can find. Anyway, there's a ton of things on the supersets to use. I think I'm going to stamp my Santa first, and then I'll pull off of the supersets. So I just have my intense black ink. And I'm just going to make this kind of go across the page in a wavy line. Anyway, so while I'm messing around and you're just watching me do this, I re-inked my intense black pad, and it was starting to look a little dull. Intense black is one of those blacks that I use like all the time, and I feel like I have to re-ink it more often. Like, I wouldn't recommend buying this ink pad without a re-inker. That's just how it's a special kind of ink, and it seems like it dries faster than others. So there's my little Santa. Let me put him away. Okay. And then let's do a few little presents. So, thank you, so many of you, for asking about my mother-in-law. She is still in the hospital. Gosh, I tell you what, you know, I'm a nurse. I get it. I don't know if I want to use that giant tree. I'll use it. I'll use it. I went to all the trouble to put it on a block. Might as well use it. And then I'll use this little bird too. She started a new medicine for her blood pressure, and it's a diuretic. It's super common. If any of you have high blood pressure, you're probably on it, hydrochlorothiazide. But in the elderly, it can it can cause trouble. And she's, you know, in her 80s. And so she started, it started dropping her sodium. I have an extra scrap here. I'm going to stamp just a few extra little cookies because I like the idea of having some things kind of dimensional. Maybe I'll do 3 of those. That little cookie is one of my favorite. It's so cute. Anyway, so she started getting wacko confused, and I'm not exaggerating when I say wacko confused. I mean, she is not herself in any way, shape, or form. And as a nurse, you know, I've seen a lot of confusion and things in people from low sodium, but it's a little different when it's your family member. And, you know, I think 2 of those. Little wreath. I love the little gingerbread man on here too. I want to do the gingerbread man for sure. So I'm just kind of putting these random. I'm obviously not putting that much thought into it. And if you can turn them and things, I think it helps. I think it helps make them look a little bit better. Let's see. I definitely want the star. And I think I'll put one over here too. I think I might make it dimensional too. I'm going to add a couple of those just in case. So anyway, she's been in the hospital she was in the hospital for like a week. Was starting to clear up and starting to be normal, and we were all so thankful. I was like, oh, thank goodness she's starting to think again. Oh, what about this cute little reindeer? I wonder if I have room for him. Anyway, she went home, did not sleep at all. She was home for like 3 days and started getting crazy confused again. And then, so we had to call an ambulance because by then she was adamantly refusing to do anything. She was so confused. She thought everybody was out to get her. And so, oh my gosh, it's just been a week. It's been a week. I just want to say, I'm going to pull out a different green than I normally use. And because I want to do some of these little holly leaves and berries. And I kind of like this jade green. I hadn't used it very much. And anyway, so she's a little better today. Thanks for asking. She's like, I would say 85% back to herself. So, yeesh. It's not fun having that kind of thing around the holiday. Makes you kind of busy. All right. So anyway, on a more fun note, I have been trying to spend a little more time with Jen. Jen's 30. It's not like she's a child. But you know, there is something about seeing your grandmother crazy confused and out of her mind. So out of the ordinary. And Jen is like, wow, is she going to be this way forever? And I'm like, no, she will not. And she's already a lot better, but anyway. I decided to spend a little extra time on a page today and just, I don't know. I don't care if this takes me a while. I don't care because I love doing it and I really appreciate, you know, all of you very much. Okay, the other thing that is on here, now see, I could have used this holly leaf. It's so cute. Hi, Heather. One of my favorite things on this set right here is these little stars. And so I put those on blocks and I want to add some sparkly stars around here. I'm going to grab my mist ink for that because I want them to be gray, but I don't want them to blend in to the background. And you'll know what I mean when I start stamping here. So I'm just going to stamp a few stars. This is a great use of all of those, like, you know, those stamp sets that you buy and you use them like crazy during one year and then don't touch them again for some reason. Like, you know, they kind of, I don't know if you like lose your momentum on them or you get burned out on them or whatever, but this is a great way to, you know, pull out those stamp sets that you purchased and try to like use all these little images, and you'll feel so proud of yourself that you've used something out of your stash seriously. Because I like to pull out, at Christmas time especially, I pull out all my old stamps, and I showed you those Christmas cards that I made. Okay. I made gobs and gobs, gobs and gobs. All right. So there's my wandering line. And I know now you're going to be like, what? You have to color everything. Well, of course, that is what I'm talking about when I say I've decided to spend a little extra time on a page today. So I have my alpine green. It's my favorite green. And I am going to just start coloring a few images here. What I like to do when I am coloring like lots of little stuff like this is I like to take one color, color everything that is green, everything that is red, everything that is blue, all at once, rather than coloring each image individually. It seems to me like it is faster. I could be wrong. But, and so I've noticed doing this way every now and then I miss something. Like you know, oh, that was supposed to be green or whatever. But so my next thing that I need to do is start baking. My neighbors. This is a superset, Heather, from a couple of years ago. It is not available anymore, but almost every close to my heart stamp set has tiny images on it that you could use as your base. And so I recommend going ahead and just pulling out what you've got and just see, you know, you may have this. This is citrus, which is yellow. I might do yellow last. I don't know how much yellow is really on here. Let's do red instead. Okay, this is a dark red blend, and I know there's a lot of red and green, so we'll start with that. Do Santa and his lips and Rudolph's nose. And more stripes on the present. And let's do gingerbread. Inside of the cookie. Let's do the bow. My neighbors, I started it like a million years ago. I baked cookies for my neighbors, and it led to my neighbors exchanging food every year for Christmas. Be careful what you do, because you will do it forever. And I love it most years, but this year, of course, has been a little hectic. My time has been spent at the hospital a lot, and so we have just been kind of busy. Anyway, so the neighbor guy across the street, I'm going to shade just a little bit here. He brought over Chex Mix yesterday, and he asked me for my loaf pan. I gave him my loaf pan, and he told me he would return it with banana bread in it. And I was like, woo, thank you. So I know I'm going to get banana bread from him. And then my neighbor lady next door, I was just telling Stephanie today, she makes almond bread, and it's like a cake almost. I don't know. It's very good. But I don't like almond. And boy, sometime during the summer, we were just talking about stuff we like and stuff we don't like. And I mentioned that I don't really like almond. Oh my gosh. I don't know what I was thinking. What was I thinking? It was so crazy. I'm like, no, this is the fair skin blend so that I can do Santa's face. Anyway, after I said it, I was like, oh my God, I just told this lady who has made me almond bread for the last like over 10 years that I don't like it. I was like, what is wrong with me? Okay, for the cheeks, I'm going to use the darkest color just to put a little cheek and nose action there. You don't have to get out like pink for that if you don't want to. Anyway, yeah, that was really dumb. Oh, see, I just don't like almond. I don't know why. It's just not my thing. But anyway, she really, it'll be interesting to see what I get this year. I did a mad scramble. As soon as I said it, I realized, oh my God, she makes me almond bread. And I immediately was like, you know, honestly, everybody in my family loves it, but me. I'm the only one. And so I told her, you know, it does not go to waste. We get it out at Christmas and everybody eats it. It is gone. I don't have to worry about it, you know, not getting eaten just because I don't like it. Blech. I didn't say that. I just am thinking it. Yuck. Not my favorite. I like to make sugar cookies, and I've been experimenting with different icings these last couple years. And I really, you know what? The icing I get the most, yeah, I don't like walnuts either. I'm with you. So my icing that I get the most requests for, the one that everybody just seems to really love so much, is I just get the fluffy white icing. I don't know if it's Betty Crocker or Duncan Hines, but it's a fluffy white, and I think it's Betty Crocker. And I just color it and frost my cookies with it. And you know what? I've done that for years. And now that I'm home more, I thought, well, I'll just experiment with some of these homemade frostings that are so popular. All these people are selling cookies now, and they're using all these great royal icings and Franken frosting and all these different, you know, great frostings. And I'm like, these are not the ones that people are loving. They love my Betty Crocker. So, okay, that's what I'll use. And then, but what I did do last year, I used a new sugar cookie recipe that Steve and Jen just went bananas over. And so that is one. I'm going around these cookies like on the edge, kind of like they're cooked on the edge, if that makes sense. You know, like they're a little browner on the edge, and I'm intentionally doing it. So, ta-da. Okay, let's see. Oh, and I have these little birds that I think I want to make a blue. I'm going to use like this turquoise blue. Let's see if that's too bold. Little bluebirds. Anyway, yeah, that looks good. I think I only have a couple of them. I think I'll use the darker color for the wings, just to. And then I have a pink shade. I want to use a little bit of pink on here. That's almost too dark, but oh well, done. It's done now. And pink in here. Maybe the lighter one. Okay. We have done everything but the stars. So the stars, I'm going to get my citrus blend out again. And I'm just going to do around the edges because I'm going to make these a little bit dimensional so I don't have to color them in perfectly. So I'm going to, but these ones I do because these are the ones that will show, the ones on my scratch paper. Well, you know, honestly, this did not take as long as I thought. I was thinking, gosh, you guys are going to be, gotta go, Con. I figured I would lose you. I figured I'd be sitting here by myself. But actually, I think this looks really cool. It's a very, it's a really neat look. And what I'm going to do is fussy cut. I know, yuck. But since it's on a white background, fussy cutting doesn't have to be perfect. And then see, I can add a dimensional cookie. I have like these little pop dots that I can just glue on there. Anyway, yeah. I also like to make I like to make candy stuff, you know, like the peppermint bark and the, I don't know, whatever else I can think of. I'm not good at fudge. Are any of you guys good at fudge? There you go. Aren't those cute? Gosh, those are cute. Now, I know when I make my mantle, you guys are going to be like, no, you're not cutting that out. But I am. So I can't wait to show you. And then what's your favorite thing that people bring? Like to, like if you were going to go on to the, I think I need it down there. The cookie, like, you know, if you walk across the big thing of cookies or whatever, like what is it that you would like not be able to pass up? My big thing is I like chocolate peppermint, and I make chocolate peppermint cookies and lemon cookies, and I make those weird flavors that other people don't really love. You know, I always am worried when I pack up my cookie trays, you know, if I put lemon in there, some people really don't like lemon. And so I always package those a little bit separately. All right. Now, what I'm going to do for my stars is I'm going to take my pop dot thing and put it right in the center of my star. And then I'm going to tilt it on axle. I don't know if that's the right wording, but you know what I mean. I'm going to tilt it. So yeah, I have chocolate, peppermint, like crinkles. I've made lots and lots of brownie things. I like to do that thing where you just basically bake brownies and then you cut them out using a cookie cutter, and then you wrap it in like cellophane with a bow. So it's really just a brownie. But because you used a really cute cookie cutter and you leave the cookie cutter on it, ta-da! Okay, I like that. Okay, now let's make the mantle. I'm going to hold that up close just so you can see it. Not that you haven't been staring at it now for 20 minutes or whatever, but I have a scratch piece of paper here. And I have this set. This is the Evergreen card making set, and it has these boughs in it that I think will make a great mantle. And it also has a little pine cone. So that's my thought. I may have to grab another block. Let me see, will this fit? Oh yeah, see, I can just use the smaller block. Anything with ginger. Okay, so Steve and Jen are ginger freaks. And I've been making these frosted molasses cookies. They're like gingerbread cookies. I have sage and pine. My plant, this is my thought before I do it, in case I screw it up and it doesn't look the way I intend. My thought is to make a center bow. Maybe I should start with the center bow. I don't know if I even have a bow out. Hold on just a sec. I know I have one. Oh yeah. I could use that bow. And it's just a cardstock bow that you cut out. Cool. I don't even think I have an extra one though. So I'll just wing that in a minute. Oh, I have a gray bow. God, that's ugly. I need to do something to that for sure. I have to make it red if I'm going to use it. Or I have to cut a new one. Let me see if I can. You guys are going to be like, you're nuts. see. I'm trying to decide if I can use this. This is what lengths I go to not to get out my die cutting machine. You have no idea. Even my little one, I just am so lazy. I just hate it. I need to I told Steve that I really should have gotten an extension or something a little bigger on my craft table when I designed this room, because that will work. Look at that. Ta-da! Right? Okay. Anyway, just so I could leave my crazy machine out. I have this like molasses, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Okay, so this is sage and this is pine, and I don't mind going from sage to pine, but I won't go from pine back to sage. I gotta clean it off in between. So that will be the noise that you hear in between. I have my stamp cleaner in my drawer. Is that weird? Okay, can you see it okay? I just want to make sure I'm in camera. There we go. So, when I make those ginger cookies, I don't even get an opportunity to give them to people because Jen and Steve pig out on them so much. All right. I'm kind of trying to see how far over I need to go. If my bow is center, that's approximately center, right? All right, so I need to flip to all right. Is this looking like a garland, like you would see on a fireplace mantle? This is what image I have in my head, okay? I have no idea if I'm being successful here, but that is my thought. We'll see. All right, one more here. I feel like I need, even with this here, I need a little something, right? I need a little something. Okay. What I'm looking for is a scrap piece of paper on my table. I'm going to put it here because this is where my bow is going to be, and I don't want it to stamp in where my bow is going to be, right? I didn't want to stamp on my bow either, actually. Okay, let me try that again. Thinking too much. All right. All right. I think that'll do. I think that'll work. And then I just need a few pine cones. What color? I need dark. Toffee, mocha, espresso. Those are my options. I could use acorn. So I'm gonna make a couple on each side. I'm not gonna go too crazy. There, I cleaned my stamp off in between colors. That's, oh, look at that. That's kind of nice. Neat. Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right. Put those away. I have to put these away as I go because I am notorious for putting all my stamps away and then turning around and finding a stamp on a block, and then I can never remember which stamp set it goes to or whatever. So I have to do this kind of a little at a time, make sure that I have my stuff put together. Right? Okay, I'm sure you understand what I mean. All right, the other thing is I'm going to put my bow here, and I really want, I don't want the leaves to show in these holes. So I'm going to get out my super dark red marker, the darkest color there is. And I want to, I'm going to color in there, but I want to color bigger than I actually need. That'll give me a little fiddle room, you know, with my bow. There. It's not perfect, but it's good. It's fine. Okay, now here's the part you guys are going to hate me for. I am going to fussy cut this out because I want to put stuff on the mantle. And it won't take me long, I promise. So tell me what else you're cooking. What else are you baking? You've got to be baking stuff. Because, man, my other, I have like other friends online and stuff who are like all in. And even at the thing that, one of the things I miss about work is, you know, this time of year, oh my gosh, the treats. Yum, yum, yum. I'm a chocoholic. I love sweets. And I've been on Weight Watchers. I've lost about 30 pounds now. And I'm very proud of myself for doing that because this time of year is especially hard. And why I started right before Halloween is beyond my, it's just crazy because that's when all of the sweets start, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, man, I love Halloween candy. It was, but I made it. I made it through the holidays. And so I know I can get through Christmas too, even baking. And the truth of the matter is I don't eat very much of what I bake unless I have it like right in front of my face. I just sit and mindlessly eat it. But if I put it away and I give it to neighbors and you know, obviously taken it in the hospital to the nurses or whatever, it'll get eaten by other people. I can drop it off to my dad. He has problems with low blood sugar, so he needs sweets. Thank you, Heather. It's hard. I lost a ton of weight about 10 years ago, and you know, a lot of it just sort of crept back on. And that's, you know, it's easy to do because you start if you're eating out a lot or whatever, you don't exercise like normal. And I have to admit, I have not been exercising like I used to. I'd probably lose faster if I did. But anyway, yeah, I have a doctor's appointment this week, and I can't wait for him to go, what happened? He'll be so happy for me. All right, I'm liking this. I'm liking how this is looking. Now, you guys, I can hear it now. I can almost hear Margie's voice in my head right now, saying, I would never do this for a page. I would just not do this much work for a page. I mean, you know, now they have so many die cut. I could have used the die cuts. Okay, this is the other thing about this stamp set in particular, is that it is one of the few that I just thought, I don't need the dies for it. I just don't. I won't ever use that stupid, you know, evergreen bough all by itself. And then here I am where I really could have used my dies to cut all of these out and stack them and make it all dimensional. And instead, here I am, fussy cutting like a crazy person. Yeah, you know, Weight Watchers works, Stephanie, it does. You have to follow it. That's the thing. And you know, a friend and I at work did Weight Watchers about 3 years ago. And after I lost about 20 pounds, I don't know why, I got tired of eating like the same food all the time. And I wasn't adventurous enough to like go and find other things to eat, and I just got tired and I quit. And that's no fault of Weight Watchers. It's definitely me and my motivation. So yeah, I have a lot to lose. I know I do, but it's okay. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. I do like this bow. It's really, really brown, however. It needs something. And so, let's see. Maybe if I put, I don't know, let me get my scratch paper back out here again. Maybe if I put some glitter pen on it. Is that too red? Let me see. It's kind of like the ink that I had on it is almost resisting it a little bit, but it does sharpen it up a little. It's gonna show. I mean, the bow needs to be cool looking. Oh yeah, that really helped. Okay. You may not be able to see it from where you are, from your perspective or whatever, but you're just going to have to trust me that it looks better. Okay. I'm going to put that on. Okay. Now we have our garland. Let's talk about our page. So here's the garland. I want to make a mantle. I pulled out some of my old wood grains out of my stash. And do you remember when we had that big 12 by 12 sheet of wood grain paper? And I like this dark color. Yes, shimmer pen. Thank you. I just cut one of the pieces out, and I thought that looked like a cool mantle. So I want to make that my actual mantle. And then the bottom needs something because I don't want it to just be white. And so I cut a piece of scarlet. I had this scrap sitting in my scrap bin right behind me. So I think I'm just going to, adhere. I could use my brick stencil. Wouldn't that be cool? And make it look like a fireplace, like brick. It would be, I think it would be really, really neat. I'm only going to put a line of glue on this because I don't know if I'll tuck. I doubt it. But there's my garland on my mantle. I really like how that looks. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it. Does it go at the top? Does it go at the bottom? Because I want to put some stuff on the mantle. One of the things I want to put on the mantle is a photo, right? I mean, that's the whole purpose. And so I cut another piece of that. And I think I'm going to use this side of it as a mat for my photo. And this is a piece of acorn that I had. I wanted it to look gold and match some of the brown of some of the images that I colored. And I think this will be perfect for that all of us in front of the Christmas tree photo kind of thing or something. And so I want it to sit on the mantle. So that is the plan. I'm going to do it before I change my mind about it. and I want it to be centered, and it's going to sit directly onto the mantle, approximately centered, and the edges are all even around it, so it looks like it has a gold frame. So that's really cute. See, just like that, it would be really nice, but I really want to put something on the mantle. So that got me thinking about these, because this stamp of the month is so cool, so cool, so cool. And the other night I had time to color one, and I didn't even really, I don't know, I felt like it needed even a little something more, like, I don't know, it needed something in here. Like, it's a little too, I don't know, need a little shading. But I really like how this looks, right? And sorry, I had to turn off my phone because Steve is calling. Okay, and then this, I thought this one would be cute on the mantle too, a little shaker. Isn't that cute? Like a little snow globe. So I need to color my snow globe, and that, you know, I'm a fast colorer. Don't go away. Yeah, I do too. This is that gold yellow blend. And you know how they almost all these have a wooden base or a gold base. And so I thought maybe the gold color, and then I'll just kind of shade it around the edge to make it look rounded. You know, I don't know if that really did the trick, but there we go. So there's the base, and a little bit of the tree. And where's my green? Oh, my green. So when I'm gonna do a tree like this, you know, I'm trying to avoid like the ornament area. Maybe I should color the ornaments first. I'm just dotting the lightest color on first. Let me put on, there's a candy cane, there's a candy cane. Let's see what else is there. There's a bow. There's a bow. There's a bow. There's like 4 bows. I just don't want to use my blue for the ornaments. Yeah, I like that. There. Okay, I did my lightest color of green. Now I'm going to go with the middle green, and I'm just going to kind of touch into a few areas to fill in that kind of that white space. And, you know, more or less that means the outlines. And I'm going to do a little bit in the middle around those ornaments and things. And then I'm going to go back with my light again and just kind of make sure the white spaces are filled. Oh, that's so cute. Look at that. That is really adorable. I love it. Now, to me, the snow globe needs, I usually outline with like a blue, like the true blue or ice blue in the lightest color. I usually do like an outline so that it looks more like glass. I don't know, like it needs that. But then the snow needs something like that too. So like using that light color like on the snow helps. And then I really feel like this whole thing could use a little shimmer, whether you use clear or whatever you have. So I'm just making the whole ball shimmer. It does look, you're gonna have to trust me, man. That looks really cool. Oh, there, you can see it. Wah, shimmer, shimmer. Yeah, that's just clear. And so on the mantle. Now the other thing that, you know, you think of when you think of a mantle is like the little houses. And so I looked at all my stamps of all the little houses, and this is that gingerbready, that village that I made look like gingerbread. Do you remember? I made the little houses and little ornaments from it and all kinds of stuff. This was from a couple years ago. And I still had a couple of these already made. I just pulled those out right before I went live. And I was like, oh yeah, I could put like a little gingerbread house on the mantle. Look at that. Isn't that cute? And here's a little tree. I don't know if I need the little tree on the mantle, but there's that. And then I was like, oh, trees. Well, I have those billions of triangle trees that I cut when I, you know, was like making all those cards and stuff. And I just thought this would be a really neat thing. Like, I don't know. I gotta arrange it so it looks cool on our mantle. Right? Oh, I love it. And maybe one behind the house. Like it's popping up behind the house. Oh, that's fun. Okay, and then the other thing that I was thinking might be kind of fun on the mantle is a little present, like a little gift. And so I did have this in my scraps. I think, you know what? I should make a few of those cards or post a photo of a card front with this. I will, because I gotta tell you, gosh, these are fun. This little gift, you know, like how sometimes you have like a little present sitting. Does the tree go behind? No, the tree goes there somehow. I gotta arrange those so they look good. Somehow. How am I doing on time? Oh, look, see, it took me an hour. All right, I'm gonna raise my camera up a little so you can see the whole page at once instead of me scooching it around. And look, it's still not high enough, is it? But there you go. There's my mantle, and if I make my greenery, I could put my greenery down here, but I think it needs to come up over my stuff just a little bit. So once I have everything adhered, I will use foam tape on my garland and just kind of put it just over like that. And then I'll be able to tuck my photo in, and I think it's gonna look super cute done. I love how it looks now. Look at how neat that looks. Do you love it? I know. But you know what? If you had been sitting here with me and you had all of this junk sitting out like I do, it wouldn't take you very long. You could recreate this with me. And you saw I'm a fast colorer. So that does help. But honestly, I just think, oh, this is great. And a second page would be even better, right? Like having this dance across 2 pages, and then on the other page maybe have multiple photos, you know, I don't know. It would be cute. Even if they were like angled, like you know how like when you have photos on, they look angled or something, you could cut them a little wonky and it would be, oh, I think it'd be so cute. Anyway, there is my page for today. Okay, now, as a surprise, I also want to show the pages that I'm making for Margie's New Year's Eve thing. Let me grab them. Hold on. So, the idea here is on the first session to make birds. So I have like I'll make bluebirds and cardinals, and we'll prep some pages. I'll show you some techniques using texture paste and white gloss spray and that kind of thing. If you purchase the embellishments, it really will add to these pages a lot. I did not add them because when I saw what people are buying, they're not buying the embellishments, and I didn't want to use gobs and gobs of them, even though I wanted to, because I didn't want anybody to be like, oh, I gotta wait to make the pages or whatever. And I am in the process of like putting the cutting guides in a way that you can actually read it instead of my grid. I have them on my grid, you know, on my grid paper. It just takes me a while, and I've been at the hospital this week. So, okay. So here is, I really do need to raise that. I'm sorry. I'm going to give you all a little motion sickness moving around, but okay. So here is page, here's one layout. Hold on. I'm just going to put those aside for a sec. Okay, here's one layout, and what I like about this layout is that there's no theme. It doesn't have to even really be winter, to be honest. Other than it's green and toffee colored. I do have a little bit of like the music paper on it. And I did use this like snowflake zip strip, but you wouldn't even have to use that. And so if you use different zip strips on it, or just nothing, or just a piece of cardstock, like a shimmer trim or something, it wouldn't look wintry, but it can be wintry. So this one is more or less they're all a little on the generic side because I wanted everybody to see their own pictures with them. But you'll notice we use the Irresistibles cardstock on here. So there's one, and I love it. I love it a lot. This is my favorite one, which is interesting because it's the one I sort of threw together. What I love about it is I used the wood grain from the mix-in pack, which is super cool. And I used the red and white gingham, the Irresistibles. We make a couple of tags here. I used texture paste on the side, and I was thinking it kind of looked like blowing snow. And if you wanted to turn it, I mean, you could make it look like, you know, icicles or something. And here on the other side, I use texture paste on the corner with another Irresistibles, a couple of tags. What I think this one looks like is when we went to the German market. This reminds me of that so much because I think it's because, you know, the wood, and then it has like the long lines on the side and the bottom, and it looks like a stall, like those market stalls when you go shopping. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm totally going to use those pictures. And so I was kind of excited about that. And then we have plenty of paper left over. This is using the Evergreen pack with the stickers, the mix-in pack, and the cardstock. That's what this is. And you have plenty of sage, you have like a whole 1 or 2 sheets left of the sage cardstock when you're done, where you can, you know, make your own photo mats however you want your page to look. But they look really good in this color on here. And so I kind of liked the wood grain showing, and I really like this paper, and I don't want to cover it all up. So I'm going to have to be very careful about my pictures I use on there. Okay, the third one. Now, I don't know how much time I have. Is it 2 hours, Margie? I won't have time probably to make all of everything, but I thought if in this first session, when I'm showing you different mixed media things or whatever, if I use that time to prep our base pages, like this one's got the shimmer spray, or not shimmer spray, the white gloss spray all around it. That looks like snow. I really, really love this look. You know, if we do that on day 1 or whatever, on day 2, that part's already done. And we're basically just cutting. And if we do some of our irresistibles work in that first session, then we won't be having to get out all our inks and things on the second session. It'll be more or less cutting and putting together. So, and I've been messing around with this title, trying to decide if I want to put it on white, like how I want to put it. I want to put it on here, but I haven't decided exactly yet. So there it is. Anyway, so there is this one, and I love how it has all the snowflakes. And again, this is screaming, please add more embellishment. The little embellishments that come with the evergreen set are so cool. This is one of my favorites, and I think it's because it has that red and green. It's definitely wintry, but it's not necessarily Christmassy, but it could be Christmassy because I used the red plaid and the wintry snowflake paper. I also used a lot of that music paper. I thought this would be really cool for, you know, like if you had any kind of concerts or Christmassy music traditions, or just family photos, really. And, you know, I tried to use a cardinal on every page because, you know, that cardinal thing is too cool. And, oh, the other thing I thought about on this page is we're going to do that technique, you know, where we score and make it look like wood grain. But also, I was thinking, you know, that when cardinals are near, how's that saying go? You know, that your loved ones are nearby or whatever. So I just thought that would be really kind of neat to highlight, you know, people who had passed away with the cardinals on the page. I don't know. Just thought that would be really neat. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to lower my camera so I can read your comments. 2 hours. I have 12:30 to 2:30, but the next class is not until 3. Oh, so if I go a little over, it's not like the end of the world. And honestly, if I give everybody the cutting guide, it's not like you can't put this together. We're all experienced scrapbookers. Once the inking techniques and the, you know, that kind of stuff is done, and you know how I did this, putting it together is not, you know, that hard. And the cutting guide is fairly simple. I mean, it's not complicated cuts or anything. So there you go. What do you think of those? Basically it's all on Facebook. I get wordy. You know how I am, blah, blah, blah. But it's the evergreen paper pack with the sticker sheet. Then the evergreen cardstock pack and the mix-in pack. And I did that because honestly, I wanted to keep everything around under $30 or less, because really, if you think about it, we're getting, oh, and I do have irresistibles on like 2 of the layouts, 1, 2, maybe 3. I have irresistibles on 3 of the layouts. It'd be really simple though to substitute if you don't want to buy a pack of irresistibles. Like this is an irresistible pack. And see, we just use a couple of strips and make a tag out of it. So you have tons of that left over. So if you don't want to use irresistibles, it would be super easy to use some of your other pattern paper, or we have a lot of paper left. Or even a piece of cardstock there, or nothing. You could use nothing right there. It would look great. It would look just fine. Just spray all the way around. I think the gloss spray makes a couple of these layouts really special. But then again, you're going to have gloss spray left. If you're never ever going to use it, do you really want to buy it? That's up to you. That's your decision. And, you know, you might have stuff in your stash that will work just fine. But I really love these birds. Man, you know what I really love? I really love the blue jay. Look at that. I made it look like a blue jay. I can't believe it. But it does. It looks so cool looking. I had to look up what a blue jay looks like. How pathetic am I? How central Illinois is that? That's terrible. They're everywhere. I had to really think about it. Where they're white and where they're blue. So, okay. Yeah, I definitely will use both times unless you just need it for somebody else, Margie. I think I have enough project. If I get 2 layouts done, I'm pretty happy with that, and you can make the other layouts on your own. But it would be nice to be able to at least show them all really quickly, you know, how to get through them. You know how I tend to work a little fast, so I don't know if people are going to be able to just work with me. Maybe. So we'll see. We'll see. I love it. Thank you. Anyway, I hope you like that. I do, because man, it's hard for me to put workshops like that together because I have to buy so much. I have to buy the paper pack to design it, a paper pack to show it, and you know, I end up with like doubles of everything, and it's just, I don't know. It's expensive. I have to really think hard about doing those. So, oh yeah. And you can slow me down on the replay. You can pause all the time. Gosh, you guys, is this just, oh, you know what? I forgot. I was going to put some sparkles on here, like some sequins. Oh, anyway, I'll put some sequins on. It'll be cool. You don't have to sit and watch me. We're at the end of your day, I'm sure. But I am going to do something else with the stamp of the month, because I tell you what, I colored that. I'm like, oh, I love it so much. I've been playing around with these crazy things. And one thing I wanted to play with is I cut this. I tried to find a circle punch that's the same size as this globe. It's 1 5/8. And I was like, it'd be nice to just sponge that in. Boy, that'd be fast, wouldn't it? So, ta-da. Anyway, maybe I'll do that Friday or something. I'll think of something on Friday. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I love that you're all here. It makes me so happy. And I need to get back to work because my house looks like a freaking tornado went through. I don't know how you guys are doing, but man alive, I gotta get some stuff done. So, thank you. I'll try to make a couple cards this way real quick while I have everything out. Ta-da! Have a good afternoon.